We begin with some breaking news. Investigators in Moscow say that Russian Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov has been killed by a bomb detonated beneath his car. According to local media, the explosion occurred around 7 a.m. Moscow time on Monday morning. Russia's investigative committee said they are looking for a link to Ukrainian intelligence services. Ukraine claimed responsibility for the killing of a separate Russian general with a planted bomb just over a year ago. Let's take a listen to more of what that investigative committee had to say.
The investigation is working out various versions of the murder. One of them is that it was an assassination by Ukrainian special services. The investigation is being monitored by the investigative committee.
Well, for more, we're now bringing in our Riga Bureau Chief, Yuri Reshetto. Yuri, great to see you. So what do we know about Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov, who was reportedly killed in Moscow?
Well, Pablo, Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov used to run the operational training department for Russia's general staff, so a high-ranking general. He's seen plenty of action over the years, fighting in the clashes between Ossetia and Ingushetia, Russian republics in the North Caucasus, back in the early 90s through 2003. Then in the Chechen wars and later in Syria during the 2015-2016 campaign of the Russian army. According to Russian media, he also took part in the war in Ukraine.
All right, Yuri, well, who could be behind this then?
Well, look, given the situation, it looks like the blast was no accident. Sarvarov's car blew up around 7 a.m. in a parking lot near an apartment building in Moscow. Russian Telegram channels say the explosion happened just after the driver got in and moved a few meters. The bomb was probably fixed under the car, and Russian media claim it was a magnetic mine. No one knows who did it yet. Investigators are looking at the different angles, but based on what we know so far, there are plenty of signs pointing probably to Ukrainian intelligence being involved.
Yuri, is this calling into question the effectiveness of Russia's security services?
Well, this obviously shows that Russian generals and top military brass running the war against Ukraine are living at least in borrowed time, and Russia's security services cannot seem to keep them safe. This isn't the first time, Pablo, something like this has happened. Since the war began, there have been several bombings inside Russia aimed at military figures or, let's say, outspoken supporters, public supporters of the invasion. We remember in 2023, a war correspondent was killed in a cafe blast in St. Petersburg. Then in 2024, a year later, a car bomb in Moscow injured a general staff officer. Later that year, in December, Lieutenant General who commanded Russia's chemical biological defense forces was also killed in the capital, in the Russian capital, Moscow. So if Ukrainian intelligence really is behind today's attack, the message to the Kremlin is loud and clear. Even if we can't win in Donbass right now, we'll make sure those responsible for this war pay the price.
All right, Yuri, we'll leave it there, but great to get that update. DW's Yuri Reshetto from Riga. Thank you.